Welcome to What If Naruto was like Minato. Now, before we start this part, I quickly want to tell you guys a couple of things, and if you guys really don't care and you're just here for the stories, then just skip like a couple seconds after the intro. But basically all I want to say, y'all, is sorry I've been like kind of inconsistent with uploading. It's just, to be honest, recently I just haven't really been feeling like uploading videos in general, you know, just that feeling of like, oh, like I want to make videos is kind of gone, just because obviously, you know, the support for these videos has been dropping like flies lately, and you know, obviously it's not the best thing when you see that. And then also, you know, your boy got a couple of your boy got a life, you know what I mean, outside of YouTube that has been kicking his ass lately. So yeah, that's about it. But yeah, my bad about yesterday, y'all. I'm gonna definitely get back on my grind, seeing as your boy got to get his bread anyway, so you know, you already know your boy not gonna stop grinding. But yeah, I'd appreciate it a lot if you guys were to go back to the first part of this video and like really like it up, you know, like, because if this series gets like more support, you know, obviously that'll make me be like, oh shit, you know, maybe I should keep uploading, you know what I mean? And then, you know, like it'll be like a lot less monotone, right? Monotone. So yeah, let me go ahead and get into my normal persona, and then we can start. Anyways, though, yeah, hit it.
Hey Ross, sauce it up.
Chapter 5, Mission to the Waves, Part 2. Team 7 and Tazuna then traveled carefully and slowly, and Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura were trying to observe everything to be safe and ready. Kakashi was ready and also suspecting another attack. Naruto, then sensing something, said to Kakashi that they should probably get ready, that he feels like someone's about to attack. Sasuke was now on full guard, including Sakura and Kakashi, who also had the same feeling. Suddenly, Kakashi would yell, "Get down!" and Naruto then ducked. Sakura and Sasuke as well would do so, and Kakashi pushing Tazuna down would then look up as a giant sword would end up sticking out from a tree, and a rogue ninja, obviously Zabuza Momoichi, would be standing there letting out a ton of overwhelming bloodlust. From Naruto's point of view, he would be shocked at the amount of killing intent that this man is letting off, and he would be thinking to himself that he didn't really expect to encounter somebody this powerful so soon. It'd be at this moment that the encounter between Kakashi and Zabuza goes down just like canon, and Kakashi would find himself trapped in a water prison. Just like usual, Team 7 ends up watching, Kakashi telling them that they should run away, but ultimately Team 7 would end up being like, nah, we're not finna run away, bro, like, we're here and we're gonna save you. So Naruto gives Sasuke that look, and in this story, instead of things going down just like they would in the original due to Naruto being a lot different this time, Naruto looking towards the direction of Sasuke, realizing that he doesn't want to leave Kakashi, he signals to Sasuke to fight, and so both of them begin to get into fighting position, Zabuza creating a bunch of water clones and them rushing in at the direction of Sasuke and Naruto. Naruto and Sasuke would have a flashback to them remembering the training that they would have done on their way for the past couple of months that they would have been working together, team attacks and combos and such, and using these combination tactics and countermeasures, they would use these in full display. Naruto using his full arsenal of water style abilities, earth style, mud wall, wind style, air bullet, and his shadow clone variety, as well as his Rasengan and flying Raijin, would end up using a couple of these abilities. Also, he still hasn't showed off his Rasengan or flying Raijin yet. Sasuke, obviously his plethora of fire style attacks, shadow clones, and Sakura with nothing useful, but obviously she's going to be becoming a little bit more useful, but that's at a later time. Naruto from here would make 3 clones and make them attack, as they would gang up on the water clones, and eventually Naruto whips out an earth style as Zabuza's clones would end up using a powerful water attack. They end up blocking the attack, and Naruto shouts at Sasuke to get out of the way. Sasuke dodges a kunai that would be thrown in his direction, and mid-air, Sasuke flips through the air and shoots a fire-style jutsu at that direction. Naruto, seeing this all go down, would immediately realize that it's about time that he goes in full throttle. And so Naruto comes in with a very, very powerful wind style attack and destroys the clone. Suddenly, then using a water bullet, destroys another clone. And then Naruto turns towards the direction of Sasuke, would have a flashback. On the last part, we ended up wondering who Naruto was going to be saying they should ask for backup. And Naruto would simply say, nobody. They should request nobody. Kakashi's face, as well as everybody else's in the groups, would drop, and Sakura would be like, why, you idiot? Naruto saying, well, I mean, this is going to be a high-paying job, plus it's just a C rank, so the more people joining, the less we're going to get paid. Plus, it's not like we should have anybody help us on our first C rank mission. Don't you guys think that it would be to our benefit to try to show that we could handle things like this? And, you know, the team actually ends up agreeing. The flashback ending, and Naruto, looking towards the direction of Sasuke, nods as Naruto creates 2 shadow clones to go help Kakashi. And from here, Tazuna would say that would say like, are you sure? And then, you know, Naruto looks back at, you know, Tazuna and is like, as sure as I'll ever be. Suddenly from here, Naruto looks at Sasuke, and while those shadow clones are distracting Zabuza, who would create more water clones, Naruto and Sasuke use the shuriken jutsu that they would have in the original to eventually end up saving Kakashi. We jump into the next chapter, and obviously this would be chapter 6, Mission to the Waves part 3. During this part, we would end up seeing the ultimate defeat of Zabuza, and as well we would also see the moment when Haku ends up arriving and Tazuna eventually asking the team to come over to his house to rest. They end up arriving at Tazuna's house alive, and Tsunade ends up greeting them. From Haku's point of view, she would see that the Genin were starting to overwhelm Zabuza, and, you know, obviously they end up defeating him. And then, you know, we obviously have the Genin going at Tazuna's house and just kind of training for the next couple of days that they finally have. They would do so, and during this time they would end up training on their chakras and stuff like that, and they would end up actually calling Naruto out for being a bit of a bookworm, seeing as this Naruto is actually a lot smarter than the one in the original, and since Naruto has a temper, he kind of lashes out a bit when Sasuke calls him this. Not something that I was really expecting, but it's definitely makes for a funny moment. Naruto at this point would then look towards the direction of his sensei a couple of days later, and he would notice that Kakashi is finally woken up. Naruto would be in the forest working on a special jutsu, and it would be the Rasengan, and Kakashi, walking out, notices that is a Rasengan. Kakashi would watch in awe that his student was using his sensei's jutsus, and from here, Naruto would be like, you can come out now, with Kakashi realizing that Naruto knew he was watching him. Kakashi would come out of the bushes still looking in awe at Naruto, and he would be like, okay, let me explain something. I learned this because of my dad. Kakashi would look at him like he just saw a ghost, and the only thing Kakashi could say is, oh. And from here, Naruto would be like, could you teach me a jutsu? Naruto would say, looking at Kakashi. Kakashi just looks at him and would be like, what is it that you want to know? Like, what jutsu? Kakashi said, recovering from his state of shock. And Naruto would say that he would want him to teach him one wind style jutsu if he has any jutsu like that. Kakashi then goes on and says that he's not really that good at that, seeing as that's not exactly his personal style that he's adjusted to, but if he does need something like that, then Asum is the person to go to. And Naruto would say, but I thought you copied 1,000 jutsu. And Kakashi says, well, Naruto, I copied, not master. And Naruto would say, Kakashi would say, if you want, I could teach you something else. Naruto would then be like, well, no, but I would want to have a friendly spar. Kakashi would nod, knowing that this is the only thing he can do for the moment, and so they would both fight. After the fight, however, they would both be panting, and Kakashi would be impressed. Even though he was holding back, he would still be very impressed by Naruto. He would be wondering to himself, how much does he need to know? Kakashi said to Naruto, and Naruto would say, everything. Kakashi would ask Naruto how much he knows, and Naruto would be like, everything. And Kakashi would be like, besides the Rasengan, did you also learn it? And, obviously he's talking about the flying Raijin. Naruto just been like, yeah, I did. Then they would look at each other, have like Kakashi would have a eye smile, and then they would make their way back towards the house, knowing that it was almost nighttime. Now it was tomorrow, 2 days after, and Sasuke was still trying to do the tree climbing exercise. At this point, Naruto would end up going towards the direction of one of the paintings that they would have, or no, not paintings, but a picture that they would have in a frame, realizing that there's a torn out piece. He knew he shouldn't meddle with something like that, but he is kind of curious. At night, however, Sasuke would be getting frustrated while Naruto was not watching him eat his dinner with another plate next to him, which is definitely for Sasuke. Sasuke wasn't surprised that Naruto was just watching him, and he even suspected this, but one word made Sasuke motivated to a level which was almost impossible to ever reach again. "I'll fight you if you read the top, Sasuke," Naruto said, making the Uchiha snap, and before Naruto knew it, Sasuke was getting closer and closer to the top. Naruto felt proud that it worked. It was now night, and Naruto and Sasuke were going back to Tazuna's house. Naruto promised Sasuke that he would find him tomorrow, and now we'd have a slight time skip. Everyone was now sitting at the table, eating, and Naruto was already done and was now helping Tsunade with washing the plates. Kakashi was amused that Naruto was also like Minato doing chores at his house when he was still alive. And a kid then said, "You guys are going to die, you know." Obviously, this would be the moment between Inari, and from here, we rush to the next day considering I really don't like Inari. Kakashi was watching Tazuna, while Sasuke and Naruto were in the forest, and Sakura was watching Naruto and Sasuke about to spar, knowing that Naruto was stronger, but still holding on to the hope that Sasuke could potentially win. I mean, that is her Sasuke-kun, right? From Sasuke's point of view, he would just point out how the fight was in his perspective. And this is how it goes. I rushed at Naruto with a punch from my right arm, which he dodged easily. I tried doing a side kick from my right leg, trying to hit his head, but he blocked it by grabbing my leg with his right arm. He did a backflip to hit my jaw with his foot, stepping back and rubbing my jaw as I didn't expect much from Naruto, but now, it's the day I'll win. I rushed again using my barrage of attacks against him, but he dodged them easily like he had done more harder ones. From Naruto's point of view, he would just watch as Sasuke was trying his absolute hardest to hit him, but he ultimately was able to dodge and land a very, very powerful kick. From the end of the perspective, we then jump into the perspective of Naruto, who would watch as Sasuke shoots the Phoenix Flower Jutsu, and Naruto using a mud wall would end up dodging that attack. When he saw that, Sasuke would flip over towards the direction of the wall, and Naruto being off guard, not expecting the most obvious thing, he sees Sasuke's eyes was having the Sharingan, the Tutomoe, and Sasuke dashes in at Naruto. Sakura was watching extremely hyped that who would win, and it would be at that moment that Naruto would be forced to be put on the back foot. Sasuke, however, would then be caught off guard when Naruto would create two clones mid-air, having their arms wrap around Sasuke, making it so that Sasuke couldn't move whatsoever. And now, Naruto would look at the direction of Sasuke as, him being on the ground. He would then look up at Naruto, who would hold a hand out and just be like, "Come on, that was a good spar, Sasuke. I didn't expect you to get so strong in such a short amount of time." And Sasuke would be like, standing up, taking the hand of Naruto, before going back to the Tazuna's house with Sakura. A couple more days would pass, and eventually, we would find ourselves in Chapter 7, Mission to the Waves, Part 4. Naruto at this point would be laying down, trying to relax in the forest, when suddenly, he would end up seeing a really, really cute girl. And yes, I do mean girl, because by the way, Haku would be a female in this fanfiction, so bear with it. Anyways though, she'd be like, "Oh, hey there." And ultimately they end up having the same interaction that they would have just like they would in canon, right? But one thing would change. One thing that would change is that once the conversation was about to end, and Haku was saying that he was gathering herbs and was about to leave, Naruto said, "It's interesting. You're the person that saved Zabuza that one day, weren't you?" Haku would freeze at what he just said, and Naruto would say, "Your friend, that Zabuza you're getting the herbs for. And your voice has almost a lot of similarities to the last time you posed as a tracker, and save Zabuza by putting him in a fake death state. Haku stayed silent looking at Naruto while Naruto was trying to stand up, and then Naruto said out of the blue, "But Haku, right now, you're attacking the bridge builder, and my mission is to protect the bridge builder, not kill you and Zabuza. So you can say right now we're friends, but in the battlefield, it might be different." Haku just looked at him knowing that he's an enemy in the future, and that for now, it is going to be happening. Then she would say, "It's better that she leaves now, seeing as she needs to be up early tomorrow." And Naruto would say, "Yeah, I should too." Haku would nod and would disappear, as Naruto would say, "You can come out now, Kakashi-sensei," Naruto would say in his usual tone. And Kakashi, knowing that he'd been discovered, he would look at Naruto, not being angry but confused, asking, "Why did you let her go, Naruto?" Kakashi asked. And Naruto would say, "It's because our mission is to protect the bridge builder, not to kill them. And besides, we don't need to kill them, just make sure that they don't kill Tazuna." Kakashi knew Naruto would not take no as an answer, though Naruto, what if there's no other choice left besides killing them? And Naruto would say, "Well, Kakashi-sensei, kill them. That's the only thing we can do if it led to that." "Well, Naruto, I trust you on this one. Just make sure nothing bad happens." And Naruto would say, "Don't worry about it. After all, I am the fourth son," Naruto said, smiling at Kakashi, while Kakashi made an eye smile back at him. And they would then leave, making their way towards Tazuna's house. And suddenly, we would now be in the perspective of Naruto asking Inari why he's so upset, being like, "It's because your father died, isn't it?" Obviously, the interaction ends up going down just like in canon, and the cowardly speech would happen. That ends up happening, but I don't really feel like covering that. So instead, we're kind of just going to be having a little bit of a time skip to the day of the incomplete bridge, and it would be at this point that Kakashi would be fighting Zabuza, while Sakura made sure to stay right beside Tazuna. From Kakashi's point of view, he would be throwing mad hands with Zabuza, and then from the point of view of Sasuke, he would be starting to feel a lot of the stings from the abilities of Haku's, the Senbon that are coming flying at him, and also the speed of Haku. He was getting tagged by a lot more attacks than he would love to admit, and it would be at this point that Sasuke would realize that he's about to pass out. However, it would be at this moment that Haku would feel a punch at her stomach. It was then that she would be flung up to the sky when she would realize that it was Naruto in front of her, who had suddenly teleported to the ground afterwards, and Naruto had let her go after hitting her away. Haku would be shocked at the power and impact and almost be taken out for the count, asking, "Aren't you gonna kill me?" Haku would ask after the effects of the punch would finally subside and the breath would return to her. And he would say, he's not gonna kill her. All he has to do is not let them kill Zabuza. That's it. That's all his mission entails. Haku and Naruto looked at each other, and Haku stood up and said, "Kill me. I have no more use anyways." Naruto, looking at her, understanding her feelings, would deny her, saying that that's an idiot thing to say, saying that, "Are you sure about this?" With Haku basically begging for Naruto to kill her. Naruto then looked at her, and then Haku disappeared and reappeared between Kakashi's Chidori and Zabuza. But before she was about to get hit by Kakashi and the Chidori, a yellow flash through Haku and Zabuza would make them both survive. Zabuza would look at Naruto with awe, as Kakashi would look at Naruto, not angry but in surprise at Naruto's current speed. Currently, Naruto would have a mark on Haku's clothes, knowing that he set that up from the moment he landed the punch, and so he would end up saving the lives of both Haku and Zabuza. And from here, Gato's men would end up, of course, arriving, trying to raid and destroy the bridge. From here, Gato goes on to pretty much talk about everything, and Kakashi would say that they're not enemies anymore, because there's only one scum they need to kill. Haku would thank Naruto with just this expression on her face of just like so much, just this feeling of gratitude would overwhelm her. And from here, we would just have a moment in which Haku and Zabuza, as well as Team 7, lets out their killer intent and they slaughter the herd. Naruto looked at all of this with awe and fear, and meanwhile, Sasuke would be waking up only to see Sakura crying his name. Everything goes in the same until the end, and the villagers would end up coming to help and back up. And Haku and Zabuza ultimately end up leaving the village. Haku looking at Naruto and Team 7 going back as Zabuza signals to Haku to rest. And after, one day later, they traveled again. Naruto was resting in his bed thinking of what he should do to train next, but he would be thinking to himself that he already has a bunch of things and, he needs a new challenge. Something different. And so we jump to the next chapter. Ooh, a yawn just snuck up on me, my bad. Chapter 8, Encounter. Naruto was walking the village thinking of what to do besides training, and honestly, he had been bored for the past couple of days. Obviously, he knows that the Chunin exams are about to come up, and so, because of this, they would all kind of end up being told about all of this. Kakashi would end up kind of telling them all about everything, and Naruto would have ended up arriving very, very late. However, because of this, we would have another one of those really funny moments in which Kakashi just kind of nods like a proud father, because he just sees that Naruto is taking up after his horrible time schedule and how Kakashi just loves to be late to everything. Sasuke scoffs at this, and afterwards Kakashi would explain the Chunin exams, mostly telling them that they have the choice to opt in or opt out. But ultimately, we would end up finding ourselves in a perspective of a different moment. Now, obviously, the entire team agreed, and that would have been kind of a moment where we were kind of left with that thought of oh, do they agree? But come on, we all know they agree. But anyways, we after this then jump into the different situation in which the Sand Squad was currently pretty much tormenting a young Inari. And obviously Inari, who would have been pretty much getting bullied by all these kids, would end up seeing as Naruto would arrive, and he would say, "Count yourself lucky that I arrived, kid, because if I didn't, and you killed the third Hokage's grandson, well, let's just say that you wouldn't be so lucky when a new war would start over the death of one of our civilians, and that civilian being the grandson of the third." Gaara would be watching as he would smile sadistically, thinking about the fact that war could have just ensued. But ultimately, he would look at the direction of Naruto and get excited at the thought of fighting him. Kankuro would profusely apologize and say that it wasn't his fault, and from here, Temari would just observe Naruto, thinking that, he's kind of cute. She looks at Sasuke and thinks the same thing about him, and suddenly, Naruto goes on to have an introduction scene with Gaara. Gaara saying his name, Naruto saying his name, and ultimately them both leaving towards the direction of the Chunin exams. All of them were about to get prepared for the recommendation exam, which is obviously just going to be a random ninja going over to them and testing them to see if they have the skill required to even be considered to take the Chunin exams. And that would be the end of Chapter 8, The Encounter. We then jump into Chunin exams part 1, which is obviously going to be taking place with all of them meeting up at the academy one day later, and Naruto and Sasuke were walking in to the Chunin exams when suddenly a boy with a bowl cut wearing an all green spandex-like suit would end up walking up and immediately try to fight against one of his teammates. Now obviously, we then know that Sasuke would end up losing. In fact, Naruto would have known that was going to happen, but he just let it happen, knowing that Sasuke needed a little bit of more humility thrown into himself. Obviously, he was set up for failure from the beginning, seeing as Rock Lee did make it so that they could only use taijutsu, but Sasuke was the one who ended up accepting. But anyways, they would end up making their way towards the competition, and once they would be there, they would be looking at a bunch of different people who would be staring at them. When suddenly, the rest of the genin would end up arriving, and from here they all have a little bit of a small talk moment, in which then the absolute snake Kabuto arrives and makes some small talk with them, and suddenly they would then all be called inside to an examination room by Ibiki.